Alright, hello folks, welcome back. Pardon the different scenery, currently on vacation, so I'm not home at my computer. It's going to make it difficult this week for me to do Three Houses news and stuff. I might just try to do a video like this, where I talk about it and show some pictures and stuff, because we do have another Famitsu article that came out, and there's a lot of stuff to talk about when it comes to that. But for today, I thought it'd be cool to do a little Q&A video. In a recent Discord server poll, I asked you guys, what other channels you'd like to see, and a lot of you actually requested there be a question channel so that you can ask questions, and though we got about 50% troll questions in here, which I may or may not choose to pay any attention to, we actually got some good questions, so let's start going through this and just have kind of a chill video here. Let me find the first question. By the way, thank you to Plast for actually posting like the most legit questions in here instead of mostly troll questions. If you leave a troll question, I'm probably just going to ignore it unless I think it's worth the 2 seconds of video time to discuss. And I'm also doing this video semi-outside, so if you hear, I don't know if you could hear that huge truck that's going by. Hopefully you can't because of this mic, but if you can, sorry about that. You're just going to have to be alright with that, like that. Sorry. You try to make a video outside because you think it's so beautiful and so cool, and then at the end of the day what happens is Murphy's Law to like the nth degree. Any little sound that can be made by some neighbor or some random person will happen. You will hear it. It will annoy you while you're trying to film. That's how it goes. Plast asks, what's your Fire Emblem games tier list and why? I think that could use its own dedicated video at some point, if I'm being honest, and I don't think it's really fair for me to do a tier list at this point, because there's still a handful of games that I haven't 100% completely played through. So at some point, I'll probably have to do that. I think, I don't know what it is with the whole tier list meme thing becoming popular right now, but that's definitely a thing that a lot of people are doing. Corin Hates Me asks, what's your favorite color? I think it's kind of clear. It's blue. I've been kind of liking the tealy stuff lately. That's kind of why the Lucky Crit logo has been like that for the past couple years. There was another really good one here. Okay, here we go. So Plast asks, you've showcased a lot of gachas on the channel, but how many of them are you actually keeping up with, not counting Fire Emblem Heroes, of course? Alright, so aside from Fire Emblem Heroes, anything that I've made a video on the channel, I still have on my phone. I have Dragalia Lost. I don't really play that. I know we just had the Fire Emblem Heroes crossover event in the game. I was thinking about checking it out, but if I'm being honest, I've just been way too busy lately to give it a shot. So Dragalia is kind of like the game on my phone that I'm like, if I'm like 100% bored and have nothing else to do, maybe I'll pop in there. But I haven't even like completed the tutorial or anything, so I kind of just go in and get free summons and stuff. It's one of those games, unfortunately. Obviously, Langrisser. I don't play Langrisser daily just because I just can't. There's so much going on and too many things that I need to get to that it's just not possible for me to do that. Every couple of days I'll pop in and do at least most of the dailies and stuff like that. I do really like the game. I just don't have that much time at the moment. I've got Azure Lane on my phone because I always thought it was kind of interesting, but I don't play it often. Once again, that's a 100% board game. I don't touch it every day. I have Destiny Child. I want to say every day, every other day, I'll do the dailies for Destiny Child. I like it. What can I say? That one, you can only pick a couple gachas to really focus your time on, and if you have more than like 4 or 6 on your phone, if you're like me, then it's really unfortunate, and you're going to lose a chunk of your life. That's why I don't play all these consistently. I gotta be honest, though, even Fire Emblem Heroes, I'm kind of playing less and less these days. I don't know, it's a little sad. I think when I get back, I definitely want to do a stream, because I wanted to do one last weekend. But when it comes to the daily stuff, like, Fire Emblem Heroes is not the game that I first boot up on my phone, like, every morning or anything like that anymore. Which is unfortunate, but it kind of makes sense, because, it's just not that... It's not that different. We're still doing the same things we've always done. The new content's not really that appealing. I really don't like the fact that most days you need to play Ether Raids if you want to get all the rewards and not overflow on your stamina, basically, for the mode. I don't like that at all. I wish that, like, if I wanted to pop in on Friday, get all the rewards, play, like, 10 or more matches or whatever, that should be what I should have to do. I shouldn't be forced to play every single day or every other day to kind of keep up with it. I think that's kind of annoying. I've also got a game on here called Knights Chronicle. I've actually recorded a video for the channel on Knights Chronicle, but we just didn't get to it yet. I haven't released it at this point. I was about probably halfway through the editing process of that video a couple weeks ago. There's so many videos that I make for the channel that I'll record and even start editing, and either it just gets lost in the editing process, or I forget about it, or something else comes up, and it just gets to the point where we're like months ahead, and sometimes I don't even know if I want to release that content anymore because it's just so old at that point. Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. I've got Brown Dust, but I haven't opened it at all. I just kind of downloaded it because I knew a lot of people liked it and recommended it to me. I'm glad I haven't opened it yet, though, because I don't need to be worried about some other silly game right now. El Chronicle looks really beautiful. Played about 5 minutes of it. That's about it. Food Fantasy was a game that I tested out briefly. I made a video on it, but the footage was kind of... unfortunately, the phone footage of the game got kind of messed up. So that video is not going to be released, unfortunately, but that's what happened with that. So I don't even know how many I've listed off already, but aside from that, there's also... Is that it? That's it. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 gacha games on my phone. Don't be like me. Please. Save yourself. Stevie, what are your thoughts on the new banner? He's talking about the Fire Emblem Heroes banner, the new Fallen banner. I like that we got Marita. I don't think anybody really thought that we needed another Corrin or another young Tiki. I'm just like, why? I get it, because, you know, it makes sense lore-wise for those characters, but it's just like, you could have waited another year before you did those guys. I don't know why you did that. There's another question in here, too, about the new banner in terms of, like, let's find it. Someone asking, if I could pick more Fallen characters to put on the banner, who would I put on there? I think it's by Anti-Skill Shot. Yeah. In a future evil banner for heroes, what fell, fallen, corrupt, or possessed characters would you like to see? Personally, I'm still wanting to see Risen King Crom. I think that's definitely a good pick. Aside from that, there's a lot of characters that I think we could see on these banners that would be really, really cool. Might be interesting to see, like, Grail, possessed by the medallion. That could be kind of interesting. I don't know, anything like that. I'm kind of cool with anyone, as long as it's not, like, our 5th and 6th alt for certain characters, because there's already too many Corrins, already too many Tikis, and to me, the fact that there's, adult Tiki and young Tiki, it's not really like a variation. I mean, it is, but it's still Tiki at the end of the day, so it's like, at this point, like, how many are you going to have once we're, like, 4 years, 5 years into the game? You want, like, more than 10? Really? I don't know. I'm kind of not down with that, but anybody, like, for example, Grail only has an alt. We don't even have normal Grail in the game, but if we got, possessed Grail or somebody like that, I'm much better off with that than I am with, like, our 5th or 6th Tiki or whatever we're on at this point. What's your favorite book, and what's the last one that you read? That's a great question. I think I gotta say favorite book is probably something like Ender's Game, because that's a book that I have... It's been a lot of years, actually, since the last time I read it, but that's a book that I have actively reread, like, 3 or 4 times myself, for no reason, just because I really like that book. It's a great book. The series is kind of weird because the other books aren't really focused on Ender as the main character as much, and I don't know, it gets really bizarre in some of the stuff that happens later. I never read the other books, but I've read, like, summaries and stuff of them, so I think even if the Ender's Game movie had been, like, super successful more than it was, I don't know how they would have done the other movies, because it just gets, like, super bizarre. It's not like the first one really at all. But yeah, Ender's Game. And the last book I read was probably the second book of Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire. What is it called? Clash of Kings. I didn't finish the book, unfortunately. That was back a couple years ago. I got super into Game of Thrones around, like, 2012. And after watching through the first season, and I think the second season, I was like, all right, let's see these books that this is based on and see if these are really good books. And I was actually super impressed to find that the first book was translated, like, so well to the TV show. Unfortunately, from the second season on, little things here and there keep getting changed, and then it keeps compounding until you get to the point where, at the end of the show, it's just like they've cut out so many storylines and stuff from the books that it's, they're having some issues now, I think. So, yeah, it's the second A Song of Ice and Fire book. Those are good books. They're extremely long, but what I really like is that the author, George R.R. Martin, chops it up to, like, just little character chapters of, like, 5 to 10 pages each, and you're always jumping around to different people, getting different perspectives. So it kind of goes by pretty fast, to be honest, even though they're, like, 1,000-page books. But yeah, probably those. Best Final Fantasy VII girl? I mean, I gotta be real with you. It's Tifa. You know that it's Tifa. Yeah, that's all for that one. Which is my favorite Anna? So out of all the different Annas in the Fire Emblem games, which is my favorite? I feel like I like the Fates one the best. I know that's the one with 6 fingers, which is kind of silly, but I kind of like the art style of that one the best. The whole look, they've kind of refined it at that point throughout all the different games that she was a part of before that. She just kept improving and improving. Trickster Anna in Awakening was kind of weird. That class in general was just really odd. So I guess I'll take, what is she in Fates? Outlaw Anna? Probably go with that one. The new one in Three Houses, I like that she's a little bit different looking too. We'll have to see if she's playable or not in that game. Magnical Mystique asks, what are you most excited for with what we've seen of Fire Emblem Three Houses? I think number one has to be the replay value, or the assumed replay value from what I've seen. I really hope that you don't recruit all the other students from the other schools at the end of the game, have everybody kind of come together like that, because I think if they don't do that, and if you have to pick, your specific, Blue Lions, Black Eagles, or Golden Deers, I think that'd be really cool, because then once you beat the game, you have a completely different army that you can play through the game with again and have different experiences with different characters. I really like the sound of that, and I think there's a lot of systems in the game that we know of so far, and things that kind of seem like they'll be a part of the game that I think could lend to a lot of replay value with this one. Some of the complaints of recent Fire Emblem games have been that there wasn't that great replay value. So I'm really, really hoping that this one does, and I think that's what I'm most excited for. Because I want to see a game that has like a lot of longevity to it, where it won't just die after like a month of people rushing through the game, playing through it, uploading all the cutscenes to YouTube, and that's it. And then we are, probably another 2-year, 3-year drought before the next main series Fire Emblem game, or the next game that they decide to do. So that's probably what I'm most excited for with it. What Sacred Stones or Awakening characters would you like to see in Fire Emblem Heroes? This is a great question. I think everybody wants to see Cormag. I wouldn't mind seeing Cormag, to be honest. But another Sacred Stones character that's my favorite that's not here. They've done a pretty good job of getting most of them. I really wanted Marissa at first. I think it'd be really cool to start getting some of the enemy boss characters from Sacred Stones as like Grand Hero Battle characters, like Selena, maybe even like Kalik, those characters like that. We do have Valter, but there's a lot of really cool characters in Sacred Stones, and I really like the dynamic of being able to recruit some of those enemy characters after you've beaten the game. I think that's something awesome that game did. That I know they want every game to be kind of different throughout the series, so that there's different vibes and different reasons to play them and stuff. But I think that's something that would be awesome if it came back in future games, because I like that aspect. Like, even though the bad guys are like these almost at times like Shakespearean tragic characters, still being able to use them is cool, because I was one of those kids that always thought some of the bad guys were cooler than the guys that we had, so I wanted to play with them. So I think that's, in my opinion, one of the things that Heroes does best, is finally giving us a chance to play some of those characters. A lot of people are asking, would I marry Jake? I don't know if this is a meme. I don't know if I should be giving this attention. Is this Anna's Jake, the ballistician from Shadow Dragon? He seems alright. I don't know. I don't know that much about Jake. He doesn't really have much dialogue, because there's not really real supports in Shadow Dragon and New Mystery. In New Mystery, I think they changed him to a warrior, too, didn't they? I mean, he's alright. I don't know if that's another Jake that you're talking about here. Alki asks, how likely do you think a lot of the problems addressed in Three Houses will be fixed by the time of release? If I'm going to be a realist, probably not many. I think there is the potential of some things graphically looking a little bit better by the time the game comes out. Some of the latest screenshots from the new Famitsu actually do seem to be looking a little bit better. I'm not sure they actually even changed anything, but maybe we're just getting some better shots of the footage and maybe better environments that they're in. My 100% biggest concern, because I don't think that they're going to change anything about the actual graphics at this point. They're kind of going with that Warriors-esque cel-shaded style, which I think in some cases, for example, there's a new screenshot of Lorenz riding a horse as either a cavalier or a paladin or something like that, and the horse even has like a mustache and all this like interesting little detail like that. That's starting to look better to me at that point. Things are looking a little bit better. I don't think they're going to change that, because that seems to be the total style that they're going with. I'm just hoping that if there are environmental details, or if there aren't environmental details, they'll continue to add those before the game release. Because if this game, as in terms of environments and backgrounds, if this game looks worse than Fire Emblem Echoes, that's kind of a problem, especially because this is, your next. You're jumping to the Switch. The graphics should improve. It's the next main series title. It's not even a remake. But man, it's like we got spoiled a bit with Echoes, I think, because that game was just so beautiful. Corin Hates Me, which I think is Tac Tac, asks, Stevie, how was your flight? Hope you made it safe. All good. Got another flight in about a week and a half or something like that for Anime North. It's ridiculous that it's like already here. I'm excited for it, but it's like there's a part of me that just wants more time before that happens to make some more content and stuff before I get there. And of course, the second that I decide to go away for a week, we get our second Famitsu article, and it happens to be like the most intense Famitsu article that we've had in terms of like news and revelations for Three Houses. So yeah, whatever, it happens. Weeb Trash Matthew asks, given Three Houses Persona-esque vibes, how would you feel about IS and Atlas giving another shot at a crossover? I'll be honest with you, I've never played Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE. I know there's a lot of fans out there that really like that game. I know there's people that don't like the game. Some people said it was too Persona-like. I wouldn't mind it. Atlas has made, or at least brought over to the US, a lot of really cool games that I've always liked. Stuff that I've wanted to talk about on this channel, like Riviera, The Promised Land for Game Boy Advance. Yggdra Union was always a cool game to me, and I think they made more in Japan that we never got, unfortunately. So, I don't know what kind of crossover I would really want out of it, to be honest. Yeah, it's tough. I wouldn't want Advance Wars Fire Emblem, because, I mean, we kind of are getting that in a degree here with Three Houses, with the random soldiers and stuff. And I don't really want to have, like, here's a generic Myrmidon you control or something like that, but I really do like a lot of the War Room features of Advance Wars, and I want to see that in Fire Emblem. Like, I don't understand why there hasn't been any kind of map editor where you can make a map and send it to a friend and have their team face it. I just think that'd be so cool. I don't know why they don't do anything like that kind of stuff. And then that would give more variety and more opportunity for people to interact with their friends with the game. And even though it's probably still going to be mostly a single-player experience, I just don't see why they can't spend a little time and put that together or something. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of another crossover, though, that I would want right now. Anti asks, have you ever planned to do a stream with your patrons and or moderators? I should. My only concern with that is I don't know how. I would have to use a different platform, because if I go live, like I'm live on YouTube or Twitch, maybe at Twitch, since I don't have that many followers, people wouldn't know that it was happening if I just streamed directly to there, because I don't usually stream on Twitch. If I'm streaming on Twitch, it's just because I'm cross-streaming and I'm doing it on YouTube as well. So there are ways, and I think there are also other sites that I could probably stream to that people wouldn't know about that I can make exclusive. So yeah, at some point in the future, that'd be cool. But I don't know. I mean, at this point, I don't have that many patrons, and even still, a lot of the mods are on different time zones and stuff, so it might only end up being like 10 people watching, which I guess is still cool. Just a small, cozy little session, but we'll see. Not Psycho Paul asks, Dr. Crit, could you please explain how I can impress girls? First step, be happy with yourself, because if you're not going to do the right things. You're going to be too needy. You're going to be trying too hard, and then it's not going to work out for you. So you need to be happy being single. Like, just be happy in life in general before stuff like that's going to happen for you. It's not easy to do, but you need to figure it out. You have to figure out yourself before you start looking to other people to kind of fix you and make things better for you. That's kind of what I've learned. But aside from that, I think you just have to be confident, and be yourself, and the right people will hopefully stick around, keep showing up. You'll meet them and stuff. So good luck with that. Stevie, would you rather have a gay son or I'm not going to say this word because I think it'll demonetize the video. I've seen a lot of stuff about YouTube's new systems lately. I'm going to say hot daughter, but you can see what it says on the screen. Let's see, are the two of those? I got to go gay son. I got to be honest with you, because I think it would be harder. I don't know, the father-daughter dynamic thing seems just weird. Because imagine, like, your daughter starts dating this guy that you hate, and you just hate seeing him, and then she marries him, and then you're stuck with this son-in-law that you hate permanently. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a lot tougher than just having a gay son, because it's like, whatever makes him happy, don't care. And I should say that about the daughter, too, to be honest. But, yeah, I don't know why that's tougher for me. I got to be honest, I don't know why. Maybe it would just be harder to see your daughter, going around the block. if you know what I mean. What are your favorite hair colors in the Fire Emblem series? I love green hair myself. This is asked by Green Panda. You know, I complain a lot about the blue-haired lords, but I do like them. I think the blue hair is cool in fantasy games. I think we just have too many at this point, and I'm tired of having, like, you know, Marth 6.0 or whatever. Or actually, it's more than that, but, you know, I just think we're kind of done with the blue hairs at this point. When I was growing up with Fire Emblem 7, Blazing Sword, Guy was my favorite character with his green hair. I also did like Lyn and stuff like that too. I like the whole Sakai vibe, how they had their own culture, and that hair color was kind of prominent amongst some of those characters. So that was cool. Probably that for now, I would say, because aside from that, the hair color is not that big of a factor for me. It's more of like how cool the character is, which unfortunately usually relates to like how edgy they are, or at least it used to. I don't know about these days. Adam asks, what are the 3 wacky numbers on the back of your credit card? Let's take a look. 1, 2, and 3. I don't know why you're asking that question, but yeah. All right, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. I don't know how long we've been going on for this point. Can't exactly tell. I think that's pretty good. We went through a lot of questions. Oh, how tall is Stevie? Let's wrap it up with this one. Tac guesses 5'7". You, sir, are wrong. I am bare minimum 6'2", but I think I'm actually probably more like 6'3". I'm pretty tall, thankfully, because otherwise I think I'd be a lot fatter. All right, that's gonna wrap up this one, guys. Stay tuned for more stuff. I know this was kind of just a chill video, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. And we'll try to do some more of these in the future if I get some good questions in there. I'll be honest, I thought I had more good questions in there, but a lot of people just use this channel for trolling. And even though I set the rules to not talk in the channel, people still constantly talk in there. So difficult to find questions. But yeah, that's going to wrap up this one. Thank you so much for watching. I will try to do and update you guys on more Three Houses stuff as soon as I can. I'm on vacation here. I only have my crappy laptop. I can't do as much as I can with the normal videos. So I'm a little bit limited. When I get back, if I still haven't uploaded anything for Three Houses, you can expect stuff next week before Anime North. I will be racing to do that kind of stuff before I go on that trip. So thanks, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.